Sharp type of NT and then Trap News Network. Back in the same, like could crack in the same, back in the same, like could crack in the same, back in the same. Wait, how the hell? Back in the same, like could crack in the same, like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content, for more of this good news you can use, more of this good knowledge you can't get nobody's college. Big dog, tap in with that, tap in to make sure you are in fact tapped in with that good, tap in. You feel me? Notification bell, hit all, say tapped in. You feel me? Like, now I'm over here thinking it's not enough in my head because I was just having a conversation about Kendrick Lamar. Oh, goodness gracious. I got to stop having conversations before I cut this camera on because my conversation is still in my head. Anyway, 25,000 subscribers, we're going to give away $100. 15,000 subscribers, we're going to give away another $100. Man at the Garden, Please Don't Touch My Gun, Fairy Tales and Boogeyman, all songs. Boom, out now. You see how I did that? I got that one. They all out now. Make sure I get into that. You ain't got into that. And I need you to also... richtraphouse.com. That's the merch store. Get into that if you ain't got into that. Exposing a snitch in the Big U indictment for cooperating for a lesser sentence. Shout out to Rap News Street Politics, RNSP, Renisip. Shout out to Renisip. Doing their thing, man. We finna see what they got going on. Let's get into it without no further ado or don'ts. Let's go.
Who's playing some dirty games in this paperwork. Now, as we broke down when we covered this Big U indictment, there's confidential informants, multiple witnesses in multiple areas. And we also have some snitches on the forecast as well.
Snitch for love, boys.
But we're not talking about probabilities in this video. We only gonna talk about facts. So we know there's an individual that they referred to as CW1. They broke down his profile, his case history, and what information he provided. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm onto that dude, but I'm not 100% for sure that is who I think it is. So we're not gonna put that out there because, you know, we're not here to make allegations in terms of who's snitching. We're gonna tell you exactly who it is. And you know, a lot of people, of course, they wanted to be Wack 100. They wanted to be 600, Brick Baby. We know Loose Cannon's already telling. He's self-snitching. He's implicated himself. But this individual right here is also snitching on Loose Cannon. But as of right now, we gotta say,
snitching on Loose Cannon is barnacles.
Factually, it's none of them other dudes. But you know the saying, when life gives you lemons, you end up with Dale Morrison. Now, Dale Morrison is gonna be victim number one. This is actually gonna be the biggest rat in this case. So again, this is not CW1 who was pardoned by Joe Biden. And this is not witness one that was around the alleged murder.
I don't like that shit right there. I don't like that shit right there.
Situation in Nevada. The witness that was working as a security guard in the studio. This is the man that was getting extorted, so to speak. The one that was robbed by Loose Cannon. And the club promoter who set up the whole situation with Big U and Deja Vu, where it was said that Big U had shook down 30 rats out that situation. But the key thing, man, is who is Dale Morrison? Now, he's not only a rat. He's actually a club promoter, and I would say somewhat of an entrepreneur throughout the city. And the next question one may ask is, why Dale Morrison? Why was he being shook down? It seems
Dale.
like this dude...
Damn, Dale.
is one of them guys playing all sides. Now, the key thing is Dale Morrison has been in the mix around all these dudes for a long time. Like I said, he's a club promoter. And anybody know these club promoters? They're the ultimate people person. But especially when you promoting black businesses, black clubs, black parties, you're gonna end up intertwining with the hood at some point, especially in LA. So we've seen Dale Morrison, not only with Big U, we've seen him with Nipsey, we've seen him with Gilly the Kid, Joe Moses. Like I said, this dude has been around everybody in the city, and we gotta put this out so nobody else falls into the games that this dude is playing. Now, the paperwork has painted him out to be a victim, and on the contrary, painted Big U to just be somebody that got him in a headlock. But Dale Morrison is actually playing his own games in these streets, man. So the key thing right now is Morrison is under his own federal indictment, which has nothing to do with any of these dudes in this indictment.
So this nigga Dale done fucked around and got caught up and was like, hey, I can tell you about X, Y, and Z. Goodness gracious, that's barnacles.
With this Big U rolling 60 situation. This dude had his feet in the streets, a full participant in the life of criminality. He's not just some weed shop owner that's trying to make a living and ends meet by playing it fair. This is the misconception of this whole situation. Now, the indictment that he's allegedly the main defendant on is a conspiracy with the intent to possess narcotics, also possession with the intent to distribute narcotics. And the main key thing is the feds are alleging that Dale Morrison is using businesses in LA as fronts, including the same business that Big U was allegedly shaking down. So we've seen Morrison with multiple different businesses: MLB Investments and Holdings, M4 Morrison Media Marketing and Management, DMO 20 Consultants LLC, Everybody Eats, which is also synonymous with the Everybody Eats Genetics Cannabis.
So it sounded like you was playing in the streets and you got involved with some flu flammers, and the flu flammers realized that you was using your business to cover up your illegalities, and they said, hey, give me some of that. And you got upset and got shook down, and then you went and told, but you was really committing crime, which led to you being shook down in the first place. But you finna tell, and I was like, well, I'm committing crime, but they're committing bigger crimes, so let's get into that.
Cannabis business, which he's affiliated with. Now, at the time when he was allegedly participating in the conspiracy, some of these businesses were operating off some high rises off Fed. Now, as of today, he's changed the addresses to these businesses. But in 2020, it's alleged that he was working with 4 other co-conspirators by the names of Jordan Jackson, Keyshawn Brandon, Brittany Duff, and Deja Purifoy. Now, everybody except for Keyshawn Brandon was operating in Ohio. Keyshawn Brandon, aka Keys, is said to be Morrison's bodyguard, or security, so to speak, that protects his criminal endeavors. And it said that on July 25th, 2020, Keys was chaperoning around 7,000 grams of meth, approximately 2,000 grams of powder, and around 5,300 grams of weed from LA to Ohio, which is when they got pulled over, and somehow, some way,
He said chaperoning. Let me find out that the dope needed a permission slip to be on the road. Chaperoning the pack is crazy. The pack needed a chaperone. You chaperone the pack. That's barnacles. Let's see more.
Comes out that this shipment came from Dale Morrison. Now, mind you, this is July 2020. In the Big U indictment, the feds said they didn't start watching Big U until February 2021, after the alleged murder committed by Big U in Nevada. But again, they was already watching the 6-0s in 2020, and they were able to track 8 USPS packages sent from Ohio to different addresses in LA, some in the 40s, a business in the Mansfields, and of course, an Addy in the 6-0s, where it said that around 150 racks had came from Ohio and touched down in LA, which the feds are alleging is proceeds that Morrison was receiving in this drug conspiracy. Now, 6 days after they got caught in that car, Morrison's house was hit July 31st, 2020, where it said this dude also had a bunch of weapons. But he wasn't fully taken in on this indictment until a year later, April 28th, 2021. But the Big U document alleges that he was a known extortion target since the beginning of their investigation on Big U.
What part?
So as we see here in this Big U paperwork, it states victim 1 has a criminal history that includes arrest for narcotics conspiracy and distribution in violation of Title 21, Section 846, respectively, for which he is pending sentencing. It's still an open Fed case. He hasn't been sentenced. Why? Because he's using his telling on Big U.
That nigga's finna tell on everybody.
In this indictment, in which it says that victim 1 will likely receive cooperation credit based on this case in his unrelated pending drug case from the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Ohio. So this information right here is why there's no need for guessing. There's no need for allegations. There's a lot of blunt that's coming out. Is this dude snitching? Is he snitching? You know, people grasping at straws just for the content. The paperwork is telling us who these people are. Now, like I said, in the forecast, there are some...
Now, this is what I will say. We see who on paper snitching. It's not Monty Blanco. It's not Brick Baby. It's that one individual that he just named. Yeah, loose cannon dummy. He dry snitch, but he in a different level of snitchery on his own. Rat Run Hunter, he in a different level of snitchery on his own. We understand that already. We ain't even got to get into that. But it's not Monty Blanco. It's not Brick. He's literally reading the paperwork right now, explaining who the snitch is, why they snitch, what put them in the opportunity and position to snitch, how they gonna snitch. All we don't know is when and where is he gonna snitch. But we got pretty much everything else in black and white federal indictment paperworks. I'm just saying. But what do I know? I'm just a ninja that do the news.
Snitches that's coming out. But, you know, that's neither here nor there because we have to move factually when we talking about people as rats. And this is what I mean by this is a dirty character right here. He caught an unrelated Fed case before any of this situation and immediately started pointing fingers at the big fish because he's a little fish in the streets, but nonetheless, he's still in the streets. He's not some innocent victim just floating around getting a noogie on his head. You know what I'm saying? And then with that situation that they had at Deja Vu on Big U Party in 2021, he complained and snitched about Big U pressing him and the other promoter for 30 racks, but then he turns around the next year and still promotes his next party in 2022 at Cheetahs. This dude playing street games, but when the big fish come and collect, he want to point the finger now. But he got some even nastier work on his name. He's also been convicted of a robbery, and guess what? Human trafficking of a minor under the age of 18. Shit, I see why he's getting pressed. This is a weird dude in the streets. And it's also said that he has ties to Wack 100. We're going to get to that, though. Now, one can make the argument that Big U wouldn't even be under an investigation by the feds.
Who would have thought that a freaky man who do freaky things to kids got ties to Officer Rat?
If it wasn't for this dude. Reason being is because the homicide that took place in Nevada was under investigation by the police in Nevada, not the feds. This dude comes along, and now you have the full Rico where we're talking about money, extortion, and robbery being involved into a full enterprise with Big U. Now, along with CW1, Morrison also told the feds about the Adrian Broner situation. He had a recording on Big U when he sat down with him April 14th and April 15th of 2022. He was mic'd up when Big U was talking about the Adrian Broner situation.
Wearing a wire is barnacle.
Now, like I said, this is the same person that Loose Cannon admitted to robbing. This is one of the main reasons why Loose Cannon is sitting down. Not only did Loose Cannon talk on the podcast, but what sealed his fate was the dude he robbed was working as an informant. So,
damn, nigga, you robbed a CI? Golly. Who would have thought that he'd be tied to Wack?
Like I said, all he had to do was corroborate the story that Loose Cannon told as being factual. And of course, with him being the victim, it was extremely easy for Loose Cannon to get snatched up. Now, like I said, he was around all these dudes before this investigation popped off, and he was around all the way up to when they got hit. But in the Big U video, we also spoke about a time when the Nevada police had went to Big U's house to pay him a visit in regards to the murder that took place out there. We see Dale Morrison on the wiretap with them later on that night, giving extortion payments to Vay. And he also dug into multiple details to the feds about how Big U tried to get him to line up other weed dealers and other businesses in the city. But the key thing, this dude was making 25% off of the tape.
Okay, so you setting up other weed dealers to get flu flam, but you getting a part of it, so you are he who flu flams.
I'm not going to sit here and act like this dude was just living the worst life possible. He got tired of being punked, and his run-in with the feds in the situation in Ohio has led to him becoming spooked. And he's using that to get from up under Big U's thumb. Like I said, we seen this dude with all the rappers, promoting all the parties. We seen him promoting Filthy Rich, everybody. This is not somebody you want to be around. I'm going to keep it.
He's like the ultimate dirtbag. Like, he's like the worst kind of dirtbag, bro. Like, you a snake and a snitch. He's like the worst dirtbag ever.
Real. You never know who else he going to throw up under the bus to lighten up that federal indictment that he got looming over his head. And it's one
I know so many people right now shaking in their boots like, God damn it.
thing called a Sntich memorandum. That memorandum right there breaks down everything in regards to your sentencing. You meet with the judge and they go over everything. All the people that's there for you in the courtroom, all the letters from your employers, your family, all the mitigating factors that you're using to try to get the judge not to send your ass all the way up the river. And like I said, at that point, that's when these cooperation credits are going to take effect, and it's going to drop his points down and lessen the blow of that offense. That document is still sealed, and he's not sentenced yet. Mind you, this offense happened in 2020, and he went down in 2021. Here we are 4 years later. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get sentenced until after everybody in this Big U indictment is taken care of, because we may see this dude on the stand if anybody takes it to trial, which I'm highly doubting right now. But like I said before, this dude participated in countless wiretaps. It seemed like Vay and Big U stayed on this dude on the phone, and all he was doing was leading these guys over to Title III. But like I said, he went down in April 2021. 8 months after this is the man that was making those controlled extortion payments. The FBI gave him thousands of dollars, split up over multiple occasions, slid it right to him so he can go meet with Big U or Vay and document those extortion payments. Like I said, this dude wasted
Niggas play with they cells, bro. This is Barnacle.
no time to get out in the field and work as a confidential informant, but they call him a victim. And one key thing you got to realize about these dudes that work for the feds, you know, of course, everything's incentivized. There's a reason. They got something hanging over your head, but you also have to enter some sort of a contractual agreement with these people. And of course, nobody wants their information out there. Nobody wants the feds to say that they working for them. But the key thing is, in that contract that you sign with these folks, they let you know that they can't promise and ensure you that your information will be kept solid. Because at some point, if somebody goes to trial, you may be called as a witness. But like we see here, they basically told us who he was. Again, this is why there should be no speculation and putting out false content until the information drops. But what we meant by this dude playing all sides, you know, as a club promoter, he's mixed in with everybody. Wack is in the entertainment business. He got to get his artists in these clubs and make this chilly. But on June 5th, 2022, on the wiretap, Big U was telling this dude, stop doing business with Wack 100 because he's a rat.
Damn, even the snitch is telling niggas that's why. Yo, how high level on the snitch chain do you have to be for other snitches to be like, that nigga's a snitch? That nigga's telling. I know I'm telling, but that nigga telling. I'm giving up the little whoopty wop, and he giving up the whoopty bam. Goodness gracious.
And a month after that, Big U broke down the situation to Dale Morrison that he had with Wack 100. Now, I believe Wack was talking about this, you know, he's kind of hard to listen to. I'm going to keep it real, man.
Wack's really hard to listen to.
But the account of the incident that was on wiretap, the account that the feds have, and the account that Dale Morrison has, is that Big U and some real, man. But the account of the incident...
Let me see. 7/9/2020, Henley recounted to victim 1, which is apparently that guy, an incident in which Henley and the Rolling 60 gang members chased down Wack 100 attempting to hurt him. There's 15 to 20 niggas with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black tied down. She like, boom. Wait, hold on. She like, boom, jump in the car, pay for you. And I then took off, boom. This ninja screaming, my wife, draws, I see you, Eugene, I see you, Eugene Henley, I see you. He's screaming all day. He's screaming all day. He's screaming all that. He's got his blower out, but I need some glasses. But he's effed up because nobody's around. We like BAN. I'm like, yeah. He's like BAN. He like, die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in the car. Draws. Don't do this. He screamed. That sounds like Wack screaming. Draws, don't do this. Wack exclaimed. Wack exclaimed. Wack exclaimed. Wack exclaimed. It's hilarious. Wack exclaiming is crazy.
That was on wiretap, the account that the feds have, and the account that Dale Morrison has, is that Big U and some 6-0s chased down Wack. And Wack took off screaming, saying, my wife draws, I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene. I see you. He said he was screaming, and he said he had a blower. But he said Wack pleaded and said, don't do this. My wife, my kids in the car. He said, draws, don't do this. This is the account told by Big U to Dale Morrison. So we see why Wack is on this campaign, man. These two is for show beefing. Now, the comment where he said Wack 100 is a snitch, like I said, of course, we all would like him to be, especially at this juncture. But I have no paperwork on it, so I can't say. But nonetheless, Mr. Dale Morrison is for show.
Yeah, that nigga's for show telling. Whatever they say he did that. He did that. In the words of Uncle Elroy on Friday, you like you finna go telling somebody right goddamn now. Oh God.
Them bad people's, man. And CW1, he's gonna be coming soon too, man. We gotta call a spade a spade. It just is what it is. Especially when these dudes is hanging around other artists, mingling with the streets, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type shit, doing shit for their advantage. It's all fair game at this point. Rap News Street Politics.
Big shout out to Rap News Street Politics. Get out to the next one. Y'all know the deal. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. Free Avenue Angel until he's free.